You're listening to the Real Estate Growth Investor Circle Canada with your host, 𝐘𝐻. This is a safe space for immigrants, entrepreneurs, and future investors who are learning, growing, or taking their first steps in real estate. Here, we move with patience, focusing on clarity, confidence, and progress, one step at a time. Each episode is about real conversations, simple explanations, and honest stories from people who started right where you are and didn't give up. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, unsure, or discouraged, you're not alone. This podcast is here to guide, encourage, and remind you that growth is possible. Welcome to Growth Investor Circle to Real Estate Investing in Canada and around the world. Here's 𝐘𝐻.
Hello everyone, welcome into this course where we're gonna dive in and talk about wholesaling. From wholesaling real estate from A to Z, we're gonna be learning the principles, the core, we're gonna talk about different subjects into this course. If you are new joining this course, welcome. And welcome because it's gonna be interesting. We will learn a lot of topic into this real estate wholesaling course. The first of all, I will talk about my stories as a new immigrant who started investing into real estate. And the second topic, we're going to talk about the mindset about real estate. And the third topic we're going to talk about will be understanding wholesaling as the whole concept. And after that, I will talk about the core wholesaling steps and building networks, because it's all combined in one single chapter. And we will discuss again about scaling the business after you have learned how wholesaling works. And then we're going to expand a little bit on explaining how this business can be this module. I would not call it business because it's a strategy, just like any other strategies that people have been exploring from the past. And that's where we're going to discuss about expanding, scaling this business from flipping deals and from keeping that consistency into scaling further, even more. That's when we talk about you start with one deal. Now you are closing multiple deals. And at the end, we will be talking about legality of closing and succeeding into wholesaling. Without wasting too much time, let me dive in right away. What is my journey when I started wholesaling? It was last year, actually, in 2025. I have been practicing other strategies in wholesaling. I am an immigrant immigrating to Canada was 2000, and that's when I immigrated in Canada. Back in the day, I was living at Murray Street. For the first time, I saw so many things that was a little bit different from my back home. That's when I realized that the mindset of immigrant and a mindset of Canadian is different. When I came to Canada, I was with my parent. We survived so many war in Congo back in the days. The real problem I faced was mostly the war problem and the mindset problem. Because as long as your mindset holds you, you don't see the opportunity. Opportunity comes and go. So with that, we lived in downtown area, Ottawa, on Murray Street. That was the first time, immigrating in Canada and seeing many people sleeping on the street. Even some other people were more wealthy, like many buildings. And I realized at that point why some people are richer and some people are poor. And as myself, I was living into a community home. And at that point, I realized that there must be something that we don't know. And I didn't understand. I saw both wealthy and poverty. I saw big houses and small apartments. I began thinking and asking questions. There had little while other family have their own homes. While we depend on social housing, my family and my mother, that time my lovely mother, I had to ask her question, and it was like, why we are living in to bad neighborhood? Why is this world we living in is like this? At that point, I remember my mother told me, see, my son, we came here to look for a better life. This is already excellent from what we had back in Africa. So for me now, it didn't sound right. It sounded like we have to accept that little, basically settle for nothing. So the curiosity, I start asking questions like about ownership. How can you own a property? How can you learn this real estate business? I as I knew, we've been through hardship. We are as immigrant, we have already succeeded many challenges. So problem solving, it's not a problem. We have all talking to agent. Simply a no from an agent doesn't break us because we have already a big superpower, which is resilience. Our superpower as immigrant help us cross many problems, even from some coming to Canada. It wasn't easy. Many people had to sell everything they had and left everything behind, okay, just to have the opportunity to come into a nice country like Canada, a country with so many opportunity. So that's why I decided then fast forward, I went to school like everybody else. I learned so many things. Many things were important. Some of them were not important. For example, your school diploma doesn't make you richer because the whole system is built on uh, it's like a pattern. Like you graduate, then you look for a job, then your job, then after job after job. You don't climb from one uh, one stage in your life to go to another stage because the job, the paycheck will keep you where you are without going through so many details about building assets and having a salary. It's very different mindset you have to overcome from which mindset you are and to go to another mindset. We'll talk about mindset later. Right now, I'm just talking how I came to Canada and how I learned wholesaling as a business, how I learned how you can buy properties, start owning property with zero down, with no finance, no bank money, or without even having a credit score, a better credit score, without even having experience. So the wholesaling, that's when I start thinking about what is how can I build this business to something like very, no, I would say something that would save my life and help my family without having to worry. Because when you are an employee, you pay a lot of taxes in Canada. We know that. But when you are a business owner, you get tax break into you basically you pay less tax, but this way you build more, you invest more because you create jobs for Canadian. That's how you claim that. But if you are an employee, before you even get your paycheck, it's already half because the tax has already been taken. So when you have asset produce the income, which I will later explain how this works. Just you have to stay with me in this course, introduction course, because we are going to go through all of these steps. Okay, let's talk about now about other topic like well, as I said, we as immigrant, we have a superpower, we have a powerful advantage. We have a resilience and adaptability is our powerful asset because we survive hardship. When I talk about hardship, is more like we went through struggles. We know what is struggle. So we have already built our We are stronger. Nothing can stop us. We are unstoppable. I will say we even survival, because we have really we can build ourselves from scratch over and over. So shifting from surviving mindset to ownership, it's our weakness, because we have to learn how we can shift from surviving mode to ownership. Because when we came here, we think about surviving, because that's it. That is all we have been doing for years and years. But when we come here in Canada or in United States, so you have to switch from surviving mode to ownership, and then wealth creation begins when you have a better mindset. That's what I would say. So why wholesaling is a deal? Because you don't need any Canadian credit score. You basically separate yourself from depending on a system, which is better credit score history, and larger savings. You don't need that, because just gonna type in and you build your skills, your belief, and you have a better way of approaching the market. You have to learn the market from inside. So what I'm teaching you here is to have um, to know that you are capable. You as immigrant, you are capable. You have already what other people don't have. So you shouldn't be afraid, or you should be fearful to try new things. You have what it takes to type into wholesaling business, to any other real estate investment you may want to do. Let me keep going without taking too much time. We're gonna talk about now, how is this immigrant advantage? I would say immigrant superpower advantage as our resilient as a competitive age. We as immigrant, we thrive for overcoming adversity and adapting quickly. That is our advantage. We can adapt, we create ourselves multiple times, and that is a really an advantage. So we can turn that advantage to into opportunities. That is why I say difficult experience fuel and create problems solvings into real estate. That is the quality of wholesaler agents needs. Needs empathy, driving success buyer. To understand the distress, help build trust with seller and buyer. We are not there to create more problem for our buyers and sellers. Our buyers and our agent who introduce us for a mortgage, a house. I would say a house. We are not there to create more problems. We are there to solve their problems. And we know how to solve the problems because we have been to hardship. We know how to do it. We have escaped so much in our life, and we have built these skills, which is problem solving, that the important skills that is required into real estate business, problem solving skills. We know how to sell. We know how to promote, because you're gonna need these skills to dive into real estate. Persistent effort and willingness to learn are more valuable than years in industry. So the ability to recreate ourselves, it's actually an advantage for us. And I said our superpower resilient is also good for to achieve many things as immigrant into, especially into wholesaling business. Now let's talk about mindset. Well, there is different type of mindset. There is poor mindset, poor mindset, and rich people mindset. Now, the whole point is to have the rich people mindset, because we are coming from, surviving to ownership. So you need to change your mindset. Why is it important to change your mindset? It's the biggest limitation if you don't change your mindset. And the most important, we as immigrant, we have what we call belief problem. Many people don't believe they are capable of achieving. We have all what it takes, but we don't believe in ourselves that we can actually achieve these things. That is the biggest problem immigrant face. Growing up in survival mode, you to protect what we have, protect what so we don't lose it. Not to build wealth or a home, we cannot just protect what we have because we were in survival. So now, safe place is to live is a home. Like my mom used to say, you just have to find a safe place to live, which is home. The survival, again, mindset. A tool to create wealth is ownership mindset. And you need to shift you must make a stop from thinking like a tenant and start thinking like an owner. Stop asking how much does it cost. Start asking how can this make me money? It's like you are in creative mindset, not into asking or begging mindset. Moving from security thinking to opportunity thinking. If you wrote quadrants from Robert Kiyosaki, he spoke about 4 quadrants, and it's simply as this. There is an employee mindset, which is work for money. There is self-employee, which is I own a job. That is a self-employee mindset. And there is business owner mindset, which is I own the system. And the last one is an investor mindset, which is money works for me. I don't work for money. Those are the 4 quadrant mindset you should know. And let's talk about those mindset so we can understand our own mindset, which mindset we have. The mindset over money, which is success start with belief, not just cash. So that means you can have most of the money that you can have, but if your belief is not good, you can miss opportunity. And missing opportunity means missing wealth, missing your chance to succeed. Then here the real problem, it's not money in your belief. I keep saying it. A survival work ethic fuels opportunity. That's what I was saying. When you have a survival mindset or survival mindset, you cannot see opportunities. Opportunities comes and goes because you can just see them. But when you start thinking like an owner, open your eyes for more opportunities, then you see them, you can see them because you have the change from protecting yourself, protecting who you are, protecting in a survival mode. That's what I say. You are shifting from ownership. You are more open to risks, and risks, the bigger risk you take, the better it is. But you have to know how to manage risks, which means investing in yourself. When you take a course like this, you are investing into yourself, which is builds you from, I'm protecting what I have, and from I am contributing to what I have. From having that mindset, it's going to shift your whole life. Let's talk about the second mindset vision transformation is the vision transformation obstacles, which is I see potential where others see problems. Have you ever noticed that when you have grown so much in your life, it looks like, and you have been practicing your mindset, you have left the survival mindset, now you have the ownership mindset, means you see more opportunities comes to you. You don't look anymore for opportunities, but the opportunity comes to you because you can see them, you can detect them. You're not closing your mind on opportunities. It shifts you from perspective of running down from a perspective of a rundown or a house is an opportunity. When you don't see, even if they show you a house in front of you, you just see it a garbage house. I'm not gonna buy it. If you have a shifted mindset, you'll see like that is an opportunity. A problem in real estate, it is an opportunity. That's all you have to know. And let's talk about the other mindset that which has what immigrant tends to see as in a problem when it's an opportunity. I would say combining greed and ambitions. We have to know what is our ambition and greed. So pair your relentless effort with ownership mindset. We have to see that our confidence grows with every action taken. We don't just sit down and wait for the perfect time. The perfect time, it's never happened. The perfect time you have is today. You have to act, When is the best time in market? Is today the best time, and you have to act today. Don't wait for an opportunity. When you spend time waiting, if someone asks you when was the best time in your life, the best time in your life when you were born and today, because today you can decide which way you want to go. Either follow that poor mindset or go follow this rich people mindset. So it is in your decision making. That is where you have to decide which way you want to go. So we kind of review these three mindset shift, which is first one was the mindset over money, and the second one was the vision transformation obstacles, which we talked about. We talked about where we see problem, others sees opportunities. Then we discussed about our combining our grit and our ambitions to scale or to see better, to move faster. So let's continue talking about. Now we have a little bit an idea of what mindset we should have, how we should be. Let's now talk about wholesaling. Wholesaling is a technique, or we can call it a strategy used for investors. Basically, what the wholesaling is, I'm gonna put it in a short way so you can understand. The short way of explaining wholesaling is an art of finding the best deal and having the skill set to assign that deal to an end buyer who can buy it, so you can have a fee from selling your deal or from assigning your deal to an end buyer, which could be a cash buyer or someone who has, or an investor who wants to buy houses. So in a different way of saying it, wholesaling is finding a deeply discounted property and secure the right to buy it. Then afterward, you connect the motivated seller with a cash buyer for a fee. That is the best way of explaining it. So with this, why it's so important to understand the concept, because it has its advantage, which one of its advantage is no need for a large savings or a Canadian credit history to do this. You can just start. You don't need to have a large savings amount or a large amount saved to start wholesaling. You can start building wealth without traditional barriers. Like I would say, things you used to think they were so difficult because I don't have this. I don't have money to start. It takes money to make money. Those are just the beliefs. Yes, it takes money to make money, but it takes also you as an individual to have a better mind and a better belief to see the opportunities when they come to your way. Because even if you have money, you cannot see the opportunity if you don't have a better mindset. You just see a problem. That's why we discussed earlier. So, how wholesaling works? Basically, what you do, you focus on situations like distress, like tired landlord, and you look for estate sales. Not every house will be good to wholesale. That's why there is other strategies like fix and flip, borrow strategy. There are many other strategies you can use, but I'm teaching you wholesaling itself today. There will be a time where we're going to discuss other strategies. So just keep in mind, not every house you find, you can wholesale it, or it will be eligible for this type of business. No, for this type of strategy you are using. Each strategy has its own, I would say, its own umbrella, its own zone where to operate. You can go and find a nice house in a nice neighborhood, and they're trying to get a discount on it. Sometimes we talk about 30 to 25% of discount. It will not be just possible, because you are giving them a low price for the value. You have to understand the value of the house first. So when you tap into really good property, don't go with this mind of wholesaling. Use other strategy would be best, because wholesaling, I really believe that is for distressed properties, tired landlord who just want to sell it quickly and let's say, let go their problem. They don't want to deal with this house because it's been a problem for them. A state house where someone passes away and then leave it to their children, and the children, they don't want it. They live far. And, those are the opportunities that you have to look for as a wholesaler investors. You have to learn how to negotiate, because it's important as a wholesaler real estate. Sometimes what you're negotiated for is for the below market value. That's what I say. You have to make sure you have that 20 to 30% discount at least, and you have better conditions, and you have a contract with an assignment rights. So what is an assignment rights? What is an assignment contract? Basically, it's the process of transferring your contract to a cash buyer for an assignment fee. That is an assignment contract. You have to have it. That is the last process. After you have located the property, you have put it under your contract. Now you have to transfer your rights to another buyer who will actually pay you the fee later on. This is the whole process. So getting paid, it is excellent. It is what you are waiting for. You receive your fee at a closing date, handled by your lawyer, because everyone into the deal must have their lawyer. You have your lawyer as a wholesaler, and your seller has their lawyer, and your agent, the cash buyer, comes in and will have to handle the lawyers your assignment, that you will get it from your lawyer. So you have to know that, because you can just trust people from words they're gonna give you. Some even experienced wholesaler, they will ask you for a like proof of cash, to make sure you will actually close when it comes the time to close. Because there have been cases where you have found a buyer who say will buy, and you didn't operate the best way, and in the end they don't buy, they don't pass, or they don't have enough money to buy. Then you're going to be forced to buy the property, and that can create so many problems for you if you don't buy, and you may be even facing legal charges for breaking the contract. So you have to make sure your end buyer is really will buy. It's not just someone who you picked out here, you're gonna bring, and then now it goes into legal issues. You gotta stay away from that. So make sure you always ask proof of funds, like ask them something that will put a skin into the game, so they will know back up in the end, because it's your reputation at the end of the day as a wholesaler agent. As a wholesaler investor, you have a reputation to build. So some buyers, some sellers, they will come back to you for so many houses. If they have sold their house, let's say you have managed to help them fix the problem, and they will come back to you with so many deals. If you are acting into integrity, and you know what to do, and you have done it in the best way as possible. So now, wholesaling versus other strategies. So let's talk about wholesaling first. Why wholesaling is better than other strategies? Because the ultimate point of it is like an ultimate point of entry. It requires a minimum capital. Like we said, you can start with zero, and with no credit history. You can also focus on finding an assigning deals, not buying or renovating. So it doesn't require a lot of money to start. And the next thing you have to know about wholesaling is not like buy and hold. Buy and hold is a different strategy, which is it takes long-term wealth when it for someone who's building a long-term wealth. It requires a larger down payment and a strong credit. Buy and hold, it's a different strategy used by investors because it's involved managing tenants and maybe property management, using property management companies to help you and to keep up with issues, if any issues, screening tenants, running the whole tenants. That is buy and hold. It's a different strategy. Then there is flipping. Flipping is high risk. Why? Because you need significant funds for purchases and renovation. And renovating, sometimes you need big capital to renovate a house, and it's a higher risk because sometimes you find a property and you're trying to flipping it, you see there is more problems comes. Have you ever started like working into your house and then you find one problem and the next day you find a different problem and then you find another problem? The flip and fix, flipping houses, it really has a higher risk in that sense. And for flip and fix, you see there is also this what we call market downturns, or hidden repairs can lead to a losses. Some investors will buy a property for that specific reason, and you don't analyze the market well, then it turns out to be a downturns, and now you have to sell the house into losses. So you don't want to do that. That's why when I learn my strategies, I would like to have all of them. I will have different exits to minimize the risks. You'll have the wholesaling, you will have the buy and hold, and then you have fix and flip, all combined together to minimize the risk. In one property, you apply all of these options. And there is another strategy I love, which is hoteling. Basically, what it is, you buy a property and you just, after you buy it, you put it back to to MLS without touching it, or maybe you may just fix small things like painting and stuff like that. Then you return it back to the MLS for a different price. You may get sold for higher, and then you get your profit as well. That is a different strategy that I like. So why wholesaling wins for immigrants? Selling, it requires low risk because you are not owning anything. You're just selling your rights to buy to a different person. You are not buying actually the property. It's a cash fast flow. As an immigrant, you're starting everything from scratch. You don't have a job. It's a new country. Then definitely it's an open house for you, the wholesaling business. You just have to understand it and do it the right way. It gives you the chance to learn the market from inside. That is why I think wholesaling is good. It's really wins for an immigrant. And is wholesaling legal? Yes, wholesaling is legal anywhere in Canada because we haven't seen any law that goes against it, especially maybe in provinces like Quebec. Quebec, that's where they have this notarian law, who actually there is no lawyer who's gonna close the property in Quebec because there is this note who will actually do the transactions. They might be difficult, but they say it's not illegal in Quebec, but it's just a different system. And it's also brokeraging. Many realtors have win the market. Basically, you will be fighting with realtors where the laws, it's more benefiting realtors in a way that brokers are the ones who are in charge of of helping sellers to sell their house. So it is more practical in Quebec to do a double closing, which means you buy a property and then you sell it the same day. That's what I see often in Quebec. So each province has their own rules. It varies from one province to another. Each province has its own regulation. Ontario, BC, Quebec, Alberta all differ in assignment clauses and disclosure requirements. You have to learn your provinces and make sure you are using the right contract make sure you take your contract to make it analyzed by a lawyer in the province you are operating in. Okay, always go with transparencies. Transparency is essential. Always inform sellers and buyers about an assignment. Clear communication prevents dispute. So you have to talk to them about it. They know already that what is your intention and what your outcome will be upfront, no in the end. And again, consult a real estate lawyer. There is many lawyers, but you have to find which one is really who actually handling this real estate transaction, a big amount of transaction into real estate. Legal advice: ensure that your paperwork is compliant and protected and protects your interest. They have, like I say, seller or a realtor will have their own lawyer. Basically a realtor will work for the seller, but they have one lawyer. So the realtor protect the interest of their seller, not your interest. So make sure you are protected as well before going through a transaction. The 3 core wholesaling steps and building networks. So everything comes out to what is the 3 core steps that you need to understand when you are doing a wholesaling. You have to understand that the spot motivated seller. Spot the motivated seller. That means find that motivated seller. Focus on a situation like distress, tired landlord, and state sales. Second step is to secure the right to buy, which is put it under contract. Negotiate your contract, have it under contract, and then assign the contract with an assignment right. And an assignment, and then the last step is assign the cash buyer your contract. Transfer your contract to an investor for an assignment fee. There's 3 core steps. The first one, find the seller, motivate seller. Of course, then the second step, you buy the property, you put it under your name by negotiating a better price, then assigning your contract to a cash buyer and transfer the contract to an investor or a buyer who can then pay you for the fee. Those are the 3 core steps that you need to know as a wholesaler investor. Building your buyers list is mostly important. It is the core of one of the important things you must do before. Why matters the buyers list? Because a strong buyers list ensures that deals close quickly and confidentially, avoiding disappearance traps. When the other cash buyer knows that you are desperate, then you are doomed. They will sense it, and they will basically use your cash buy. They will take advantage of your assignment. They might give you a low price. So you have to go from desperance mode to control mode. Basically, that comes by building your buyers list. What is a buyers list? A buyers list is a list or a database that has information about your sellers, and those sellers must be looking to buy, and they also have the capital to buy. That is a buyer's list. It has that information from your end buyers who has capital and they are looking to buy. Those are the most important stuff to do. And you have to build this buyer's list before start looking for property, because you never know. If you find a property, then you can close because you don't have the list. You don't know anyone who's gonna buy. Then it comes out to your reputation again. So effective networking strategy helps you like your wholesaling business. Join local real estate Facebook groups to connect with active investors, where you build this list by joining network events and also by attending in-person events like REA meetings for relationship buildings. Basically, you have to connect with so many people into Facebook groups, into networking, and also with different people you can talk to. Leveraging a digital in-person outreach means like use platform like realtor.ca to identify cash buyer and also an investors-friendly agents. Build rapport with investors by understanding their buy box criteria. Building your investors database, it's a key to your success. Tracking buyer details and preferences in spreadsheet and or CRM system, targeting deals and sharing. Those are so important into your business. So now you have to learn how to navigate Canadian business culture and work ethic. For example, culture and work ethic. They are so important. In Canadian culture, as you know, you have to respecting people's time. It's important, and stay professional. Arriving early, showing respect for others, schedules, and punctuality builds trust with Canadian investors. Basically, that is so important. In those meeting, show respect. Don't come late. It doesn't look good for you. You have to build your image, connect with people. It's important for your business. You have to know that. That's where we talked earlier, your mindset, shifting from, survivor mindset to growth mindset, which is to be as an investor, be comfortable to hold, to look people's in the eyes. I'll talk a little bit of a story. When I was in Congo, I was there. You don't have to look people in the eyes, especially the grown-ups, and you are younger. You have to look down. So you don't have to. That shows respect for them. But here, when you're speaking to someone, look at them in the eyes, it shows like you are confident. It's a different culture. That's why I say it's important to know that and build yourself from that. A clear and communication, it's important. Clear communication skills. Directness is valued, but always remain polite. That's what I said. Ask through questions to show professionalism, you know. And handling rejection and building trust is so important. Rejection is just common. Persistence is the key. We always say that. Follow politely, never take silence personal. Like honest about experience fostered long-term relationship is important. Now, how do you scale your business as a wholesale investor? This is important step because you have to learn the key of leveraging time and scaling. How do you leverage your time? It's balancing part-time and full-time. Start part-time to maintain financial stability while learning the business. Then you can transition from full-time as you deals volume and confidence grow, because you cannot just jump in right away. You have to start somewhere, and you have to master time blocking. Like we say, scheduling, dedicated blocks for lead generation, follow-ups, and deal management. Consistency beats identity. Small daily action compound into success. Leveraging automation like AI tools. Use AI tools into your business to leverage time. Use CRM like system to track leads and to automate reminders. Automate marketing tasks like direct mail and follow-up emails. Those important. Considering hiring a virtual assistant to help you delegate some tasks. Remember that 20 minutes or an hour you're looking for leads, that is a 20-minute or an hour you could be negotiating a deal. So learn how to delegate some tasks that's contribute in your business, but that doesn't replace you. Create a clear system to ensure quality and liability. It's so important. Scaling your business, you need to combine systems, teams, support, handling multiple deals per month. That is leveraging time in your business. And finally, you have to learn how to find a motivated seller. Because why? Sweat equity, that's what they call it. Free marketing, like using other people's time, like you can leverage your time and energy by funding distressed property in your cities. Use strategy like driving for dollars and also mining Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace for tired land role. You have to do all of this. But they say in real estate, you get paid when you buy, not when you sell. Remember that each time. Paid marketing or direct mail. Consider this, but not always all the time, because this will drain your money. Invest in targeting direct mail that will bring in more money into your business. If they don't invest into paying direct mail. But if they work, if they're able to bring you more deals, then we can justify the return, the dollar return investment. Personalize your postcard and highlight urgent seller problems for better response. Tracking your key performance indicators. You have to monitor your cost per lead and cost per contract. To measure marketing effectiveness, like I say, don't invest in paid marketing if you don't have enough money. It will drain your whole money. Adjust your campaign based on data to minimize result and minimize waste. Working with real estate agents. Real estate agents, they are not your enemy. They are your allies. Will bring you more deals if you create a relationship with them. They build relationship on ongoing deals flow and market it inside. Identify these investors friendly agents. They're really helpful. If you find one, keep them and socialize with them. Contractor specials listing, and you have to know they will bring you listings like that has as is. Attending local real estate investors to meet agent who understand numbers, not just emotion. Assessing of market opportunities. An agent can offer pocket listings before they hit the public market. They can also be an asset when it comes to solves unsellable problems like border houses through an agent referral. Those agents come in contact with so many times with sellers that they who wants to sell. So use their knowledge and their don't really push them away. You need them to your success. Paperwork and legal protection. Now you need to mastering standards contract. Use agreement purchase like sell with and or assign clause. Navigate provincial differences like I say from Ontario, BC, Quebec, and other Alberta. Each have a unique paperwork rules. Always consult a local real estate lawyer for compliances and ethical wholesaling. Build trust means operate transparently and avoid misleading sellers. Your reputation is your most valuable asset in completing the deal and getting paid. Securing your assignment fee, it is important, like we discussed. That is the proof of concept that you have already. Now, when you're gonna get your pay, it is important for you to know that this is, yeah, I made it. I did it. It's this time. Assignment, agreement, and collect a non-refundable deposit from your cash buyer. Because you have your cash buyer, but let's say you have put a down deposit on the house. So you have to collect it from your cash buyer. Has to give you a down deposit, count it into your money back, into your assignment fee. Don't forget that as well. Lawyers manage the closing. That means real estate lawyers coordinate the funds, title transfers, and ensure all parties are protected. Never go to a deal just representing yourself. Always have a lawyer. A lawyer is a shield for you. You need to have a lawyer. That's when people get in problems, when they're trying to cut corners and trying to escape hiring a lawyer. Pay them because they will going to protect your rights. They will protect your rights in the end. Getting paid and building momentum. This is when the time you were waiting for, receiving your assignment fee after closing. This is really important. Don't go and spend all the money through cars, to other, I don't know, unnecessary. Reinvest it, your profit to scale your business. Yeah, you can be happy and continue growing your businesses. Takeaways from this course. This was an introduction course. We will dive in more and more into details. What you have to learn, what we have covered today is your mindset is a field for opportunities. Adopting an ownership mindset to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You're resilient, which is a superpower. Immigrant journey is your superpower, as I said. Building your network first. A strong buyers list is your most valuable asset in wholesaling. Connect with investors, agents, and professionals to unlock deals. Then, lastly, what you have to do is operate ethically and consistently. Always use transparent paperwork and respect every seller. Daily action and ethical conduct build lasting success. Last takeaway will be moving from surviving to owning. Which means take small steps every day to building generational wealth, celebrating progress with your family, and reinvest your business and mentor others. This is your takeaway today. I hope this introduction course was an asset for you so you can learn and start taking action. By the way, I just wrote a book about this topic. You can find me, or you can find my book on Amazon. You just have to look for the name. It's in a comment. You'll see the comment, and I will put it there. I will also share some part of what we will learn today. So you can, like, I would share the takeaway template. No, the template, I would share some part of this presentation so you can learn further. You can review them at your own time and take notes. I hope this course was important to start thinking about real estate. And don't forget this, you are a step away from building wealth. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to the Real Estate Growth Investor Circle Canada. We hope you learned something valuable today that will help you continue to move forward on your real estate journey. If you need more information or you'd like to reach Gob for a one-on-one, go to growthinvestorcircle@gmail.com. Join us next time for more tips and proven strategies to grow your real estate business. Until next time, remember, progress comes one step at a time.